Everybody has something they're afraid of in this life. For some people, it's bears and spiders. For others, it's heights or open water. But for me, the thing that makes my cortisol levels peak is something a little less rational and a little more silly. Enter my nemesis, the sewing machine. I have spent years trying to learn to sew without angst and have up until now been wildly unsuccessful. And while it's definitely possible to live a full life without learning to love this activity, today I am bound and determined to face my fears in favor of the elusive and ever-tantalizing activity, the thrift flip. So sit back, relax, I promise I'm stressed out enough for both of us, and let's see if I can enter this video a skeptic and emerge victorious, a seamstress. Good morning. It's the morning. This is maybe the most casual I've ever been on camera. But you know, here we are. Alright, coffee, do your thing. Okay. I don't want to do this. Okay. So here's the situation. If you've spent time with me on the channel in the past, you'll know that I am a thrifting addict, and I am also an avid crafter, specifically a knitter. One might think that that love of clothing and crafting would translate to a sewing habit, which I enjoy with equal vim and verve. This is not the case. I get so inexplicably stressed out by the sewing machine. I don't really know what it is. I'm sure I could track it back to something in my childhood, but we maybe don't have the time to get into that today. But I think part of it is the exact nature of it. When things don't go well, I get very angry. Your mistakes are very on display with sewing. I think the math component of it makes me kind of tired. I don't like the finality of it. When you cut fabric, it's done. So maybe it's an underlying commitment issue. I don't know, I think it makes me dance with my perfectionism in a really uncomfortable way. Okay, so maybe we've solved it. For the purposes of today, I'm just going to take myself by the lapels, sit myself down in front of my sewing machine with 3 projects, and just see how I do. I have 3 thrift flips in mind. The first of which is not even a thrift flip. So I've already exploded the video concept, but there will be at least 2 exciting transformations. I have been working up to this video for over a week. I have sat down to film this video on 3 separate occasions and bailed. Further context for why I'm dreading this, I got 4 hours of sleep last night because I was stressed out about sewing today. And I am in the middle of a knitting project that I'm loving, and it's the siren song of the cardigan. It's going to take every ounce of my willpower not to throw the sewing machine out the window and sit down and knit. But I'm going to do it. I'm gonna be a big girl. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna knit. I'm not gonna knit. I'm not gonna knit. I'm gonna sew. I'm going to sew. I'm going to be a big girl and I'm going to sew. Can I show you my knitting project? I'm not gonna work on it at all today. I don't know if you can see, it's the stitch pattern is the Andalusian stitch, which I think is really beautiful. This is the Luca cardigan by the Knit Pearl Girl. I'll link it. So this is the knitting project that is gonna be calling my name all day and that I'm not gonna work on. But I just need you to know. I need you to know how hard I'm working to not abandon the project I hate in favor of the project I love. Fred, did you decide to join? Do you give a kiss? Thank you. Okay, goodbye. I think if I can learn how to sew and like it, I will be a better YouTuber and a better person. I think it's important to face fears, so we're gonna face fears today. Fred is making a lot of noise in the other room, and that's never good. So I'm gonna go check that. I'm gonna go check that out. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get to it. I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew. Yo. It's a really terrifying prospect, but we're gonna persevere for the content. We're gonna do it for the content. All right, I've assembled all of my tools and notions before me. I've changed, I've put on a headband. I've put on a sweater that I knit to prove that I can make garments. So what are the projects you're doing, Sarah? Well, I'm going to attempt 3 thrift flips. The first is not a thrift flip. It's just a minor alteration to ease myself into the sewing process. If you watched my very first Thrifting for Trends video, if you've not watched it, I'll link it. If you watched that video, you will have seen me thrift a number of like mocha mousse colored garments, one of which was this really great Topshop tank top. And I love it, but it has always gapped underneath the armpits. So I'm going to take that in. It is a jersey fabric, and like sewing any kind of stretch is a little bit dubious. So we'll see how that goes. And that feels like a relatively low stakes thing, and then it'll fit me better. Won't that be great? So that's the thrift flip number 1. The number 2, I thrifted this great, really crisp Banana Republic white long sleeved shirt dress. And I've always loved it. It makes me feel like I'm Diane Keaton picking pebbles up on the beach with Jack Nicholson. But there's something that's always like not quite right. I always want it to have a little something more than it does. So I'm going to try to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to do that by combining it with another article of clothing that I have been looking for a way to give another life to. So when I was growing up, I lived on a small horse farm in Ohio. My dad really fancied himself a cowboy. He had lots of cowboy hats, and relevant to this moment, he had lots of what I would call cowboy shirts. They're these light cotton, eccentrically patterned button-down shirts. A number of years ago, I was visiting my dad and I saw his collection of cowboy shirts, and I told him how much I love them. And then like a month later, I had a box of them sitting on my doorstep. He just sent me a whole bunch. So I have all of these cowboy shirts that were my dad's, and I wear some of them, but they're a little bit too big. They don't fit quite right. So I've been looking for a way to slowly upcycle them into things that I will actually wear and sort of give them a new life. So what I am going to attempt to do is remove the collar and the cuffs from the white shirt dress and swap them out for the collar and cuffs of one of the cowboy shirts. And I think it's gonna be really cute. I think the result is gonna be really cute. And then the third project, this is the one I'm really not certain I'm gonna be able to do. Those first two, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know enough. I think I know enough. What I'm not certain I can do is create essentially a garment from scratch, but that is what's necessary for this third thrift flip. I'm going to attempt to turn a dress into a shorts and potentially top set. Definitely gonna try the shorts. I will see, the top might be ambitious. I have this beautiful, beautiful vintage dress from the 1950s that my aunt bought me when I was like 10 years old. It's this beautiful kind of structured checkered linen cotton blend fabric with this really cool like accentuated dropped waist and all these lovely, very delicate little gathers. It has this cool gauzy illusion top around the décolletage with these beautiful little buttons and a sweet little bow and this lovely Peter Pan collar. I love it. It is fathoms too small for me now, which is appropriate because I'm 32, not 10. And I would love to be able to interact with it again. And I think it would be freaking darling as a pair of Bermuda shorts. And my vision is a fitted sort of halter backless top situation. So that's what we're gonna do. So this really could go bad. I could be about to ruin a bunch of articles of clothing. I hope I don't, but I guess if I do, that'll still hopefully be a somewhat entertaining video, like to watch a woman fail publicly. I guess that's entertaining. I don't really find that kind of stuff entertaining. Do I? I think what is entertaining is watching someone strive. I think we like to see people striving. Okay, Sarah, stop talking. We gotta get to work. What do I have to do first? Plug the sewing machine in. Want to hear about a stupid thing I did? So I'm gonna be working really hard not to show you the back of my neck this entire video because, as I've mentioned, I'm growing my pixie cutout. And as you may be aware, that process usually involves a pretty unavoidable mullet. I am bound and determined not to have a mullet at any point, so I've been like shaping up my own neck once a week, once every 2 weeks when it gets a little bit long, in the effort to let the rest of my hair grow down to meet it, and then it'll all be one length and then I can grow it out from there. Sounds like a great plan, right? Well, my brilliant idea was to use, don't do this. You know those like, oh my God, this is so dumb. I can't believe I'm like admitting that I did this. You know those like dermaplane plastic facial razors that you can get that you're like, that every dermatologist tells you not to use, but we do it anyway. So I have those and I was like, oh, perfect. It's a sharp blade. It's designed for skin. I'll shape my neck with that. Well, it's a sharp blade that's designed for skin, but it's a sharp blade, and when you can't control the angle because you're, say, doing something behind your head, that does sometimes pose a danger. And so what I managed to do was scrape, I would say, all of the skin off of the back of my neck. I didn't realize it was happening because it didn't hurt right away, but I finished, and then all of a sudden my hand was wet, and then the pain came. It was just indefensibly moronic. So if I'm moving in a funny way and I'm not showing you the back of my neck, that's why. I just don't want to show you the carnage. There's a rumor that I'm a grown woman. I don't have a lot of evidence to suggest that that's true. I may seem like I have it together, but all right, the machine is plugged in. What a heroic feat for which she should receive a medal. You definitely need to be on the other side for this to be fun to watch. I'm gonna bring you over there. First mistake that I've made is that I did not pin this when I tried it on. Now I could just stand up and try it on again. I'm not going to. Okay. So I'm matching up the side seams. I'm in a weird mood. I've been in a rotten mood the last couple of days. I think I'm just not adjusting to coming back from California particularly well. I was like very jet lagged, but I was like stubbornly in denial of the fact that I was jet lagged. Anytime anyone has suggested that I might be jet lagged and that might be why I was crabby, I've been like, no, I'm not jet lagged. I don't get jet lagged. I'm a professional traveler. Oh, she's insufferable. Okay, I'm gonna take off maybe like that much under the arm, and I'm gonna taper it down into this straight seam on the side. The level to which I'm making this up should astonish everyone. Ouch, 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 ouch. This is also such a toxic trait of mine. Like I could look this up. Like I could be following step-by-step instructions of how to take in a tank top, but I'm not about to do that. Okay. Interesting. So what I managed to do was not good. Hold on now. That actually might be okay. I'm gonna try this on and see what I think. Nothing matters. Wow! Wow! Look at the side that's done and look at the side that's not. This side's better. I doubted myself, but I shouldn't have. This is going well. Sewing is very satisfying. I will say that. It's very, very satisfying. Are you doing so much helping? You gotta keep your paws out of the machine, okay? No, Bubba, you can't do that. Can you believe? She doesn't gap anymore. Okay, great. I'm gonna trim off the excess material and I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch to lock it in. And we're gonna call that good. Okay, I've successfully remembered how to sew. That's good, that's good. All right, I changed. And speaking of changing, let's change this shirt dress into something I like better. So as I said, I'm going to swap out this current collar for this collar. Not only is it obviously gonna add like some color interest, the shape of it is just a little bit more dramatic and interesting. So I think this is gonna be a substantial upgrade. Fire a seam ripper. I wonder where I'd be. All right, well, I get this collar off. I wanna tell you a story about when I was in LA. I just got back, had a great time. I got very sunburned, which, you know, was not part of the great time, but it happened. I came very close to having what would have been a pretty scary bear encounter. I was staying with my friend and he wasn't home, but he has one of those like Ring doorbell things that like sends him a text every time someone walks by the front door. And he was sitting at work and he got a text and looked at his phone and was like, oh, Sarah came back from the beach. How nice for her. And then 2 minutes later, his phone buzzed again. And he thought, well, that's kind of weird that she'd be leaving that soon. And he looked and it was a freaking bear. A bear! A bear walked down the driveway 2 minutes after me. So for the rest of the week, every time I walked to my car, I jangled my keys and made a lot of really embarrassing sounds to try to avoid being mauled on vacation. Man, the jury's out on whether or not I like sewing, but I love seam ripping. It's so satisfying. Have you tried it? Fred? All right, so the smartest thing to do now, I think, I don't know. So I'm gonna pin this in. I wonder, ouch. Man, I wonder if there's a way to like not eyeball this, but I guess there isn't. I'm probably skipping a step where I like needed to like iron a million things. People are always ironing when they're sewing. Maybe that's why I hate sewing so much. I hate ironing. I really hate it. I can't with an iron. I can't do it. Life's too short. I can steam things. That's within my bandwidth. I think it's pretty cute. I'm gonna stitch this bad boy. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. I did it! Wow! Wow, I did it! Wow. Okay, well, I mean, I didn't totally do it. Okay, oh, well, oops. Oops. Okay, wait, is that solvable? I mean, yes, but by me? So what's happened here, I had the collar in the little collar pocket. That's not what it's called, but it's what we're calling it, because we don't know anything. And I managed to sew not into the new collar and just sew onto like the dress. So I sewed the pocket closed without the collar in it. I basically locked it out. I locked it outside. No room at the inn. No room at the inn for this collar. Better sleep in the barn. I love it. I love that I now really like this dress and that I get to have a little bit of my dad with me all the time. That took like hours of my life. I need to eat a snack and then we're gonna do that which terrifies me, seeing if we can sew a pair of shorts. I think if I get like some amount of like fuel in my system, I should be able to power through and get it done. This is making me feel like I might be able to do it. Okay. That's almost as good as a full night of sleep. I think that's gonna make me marginally functional enough to finish this project. I do think it's pretty hysterical that I thought I was gonna make shorts and a top out of the dress. I don't think that's happening because it's 3 o'clock and I'm pretty tired. And there's no way those shorts are gonna take me less than an hour to make, if not much more. Okay. All right, let's do a very scary thing. Ookie ookie pookie, we're gonna cut this thing in half. You know what I super didn't think about is that I need to take the zipper out of this before I can cut it. So I guess that's really step one. I don't think I've ever taken out a zipper before. I don't know why I was convinced that this would be hard. It's actually pretty easy. I think as we've established, I'm pretty good with a seam ripper. I never know what to do with all the little extra threads though. You're probably supposed to do something. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what I'm doing wrong. Not everything, because we don't really have time and that'll make me cry. But if there's like a simple thing that I could be doing better that I'm doing wrong, I think I don't want to learn too much more than I already know. The dress is officially unzipped, as it were. All right, here goes nothing. I'm gonna pin the two sides of this dress together. I want to try to use this existing bottom hem of the skirt as the bottom hem of the shorts. Everything that I've seen online seems to suggest that I can use an existing pair of shorts that I have and trace them out on the fabric and use that as a pattern. I don't freaking know. Okay, let's try it, I guess. These are the shorts in question. I think I need to watch a couple more tutorials to see if I can do this. Oh, I think this is actually helpful. The creator Danny Walker does a thrift flip with an old skirt turned into shorts. We love to see it. That's what we're trying to do. Should I be doing this on the floor? That might be better. This is Fred's litter box. That's not cute to look at, huh? I really need you to know that I don't know what I'm doing. I know I've said that already, but it just bears repeating. Okay. All right. There's no going back now. This will never be a skirt again. Okay. We're really taking a risk. I don't like doing this. Doesn't feel good. Whew. I'm not displeased. Okay, that went decently. Listen, people have been sewing for a long time, and they didn't have YouTube. They just had needle and thread and a wish and a prayer. So if it was good enough for the matriarchs that came before, all the village tailors, it's good enough for us. They don't not look like shorts. I think they're gonna be shorts. I'm definitely not including a pocket. I don't know if you're sitting there at home hoping, oh, I hope she puts in a pocket. She's not going to. So don't hang your hopes on that. I had to watch this a bunch of times for this to make sense to me. But so what I can tell, I put these pieces together, right sides together. The sides that you want facing the world, they need to be kissing. So they're kissing. Now there are all these like pleats already in this skirt. I'm gonna try to leave them. That could be a mistake. This is all probably a mistake. Who knows? Who knows? It doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm gonna do it anyway. You know I'm gonna do it anyway. I put the pins in the wrong place. Oh no, I didn't do it the right way. These shorts are gonna be too friggin' big, I think. I made the shorts too big. Oh no. Shorts! Did I do it? Am I a seamstress? Whoa, that's really satisfying. They're cute! Okay, I'm happy. I'm very pleased. There's a lot of extra fabric in the back. We're gonna figure that out. This is a sewed pair of shorts. Hip hip hooray! Now hypothetically need to put in a zipper. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place 2 pins on either side of where I want the fabric to meet in the back, and then I'm gonna do a quick seam along that line so I know what to cut out. Because I will need to, like, I've got like a tail. I've got like a little bit of a tail right now, and that's not really so cute. I know I'm supposed to use an iron at this point, but honestly, this fabric is it's so like starched that I don't really think I'll need to. I think I can get a really crisp line without using an iron, which as far as I'm concerned is a great thing. Okay, I just had a brainwave. Remember earlier when I was cutting out my fabric and I said, there are these pleats at the top and I'm just gonna leave them so that it's like cute and gathered? That could be a mistake. That's where all the extra fabric is coming from. That's why they're so big. Okay, so this is the butt of the pants. This chunk is my extra fabric. I'm basically gonna sew a line down here. Say a prayer for me. She's gone rogue. Fully making this up. I'm just gonna like hope that I did that well. And I'm gonna cut the fabric off. God, if you know anything about sewing, you're so mad. I'm so sorry if you're so mad. Whoa, guess what happened? My camera battery died and then night fell. But I did persevere. I did successfully make a pair of shorts. Was not successful in making a top, and you know what? That's fine. I've saved it, and maybe we're gonna make it another day. The day is coming to a close, and I think we ought to have a fashion show. I'm going to go in there, and I am going to come out in all of my thrift flip garments, and I'm going to model them for you. And then I am going to sit my weary self down on the couch and knit because good God, I deserve it. I was such a big girl. I faced such a big fear today. I'm gonna go try on some clothes. I'll see you in a second.
Supermodel in my dirty jeans, but in my 24 inches heels. I'm not pretending. I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care. I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care. I don't really care, yeah. They're calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care. I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman.
Hello, old friend. We did it. I think I deserve a medal. My house is a mess. There's so much fabric everywhere. There's so much thread just sort of like stuck to everything. I feel like every article of clothing I own is on my bedroom floor, but I have successfully finished 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 sewing projects today. And that really is a never before heard of event in the Sarah Chronicles. As exhausted as I feel and as mentally taxing as it was, I did enjoy myself and I do feel satisfied and very accomplished at the end of this day. I definitely learned a lot. I definitely would have used the iron. The iron seems to be the next fear I have to conquer, but you know, one thing at a time. I definitely free-handed some things that in retrospect I could have benefited from pinning. But at the end of the day, how something is accomplished kind of doesn't matter if you like the end result. And I really like the end results. And never again in my life will I be able to say that I've never sewn a pair of shorts from scratch. Because I have now done that. So I'm pretty proud of myself. It's like about to be fall, so maybe not the time for shorts. And checking in with my previously rotten mood, I would say we've graduated from rotten. We're not rotten any longer. I would say we're on the way to being content. And if you knew what a menace I've been the last couple of days, you would know what a step up that is. I hope that this has been fun. I hope that it was inspiring to do something that frightens you. And that you think you can't do, because I bet you can. I bet you can do it. You're smart, and I bet you can do it. Bonus points if it inspired you to upcycle garments in your wardrobe. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope it's been fun. If you liked this video, like this video. I love it when you do that. If you're not subscribed and you like my particular brand of cozy mayhem, nope. If you're not subscribed and you like my particular brand of cozy mayhem, I encourage you to subscribe. I hope you're taking really great care of yourself, and I'll see you back here very, very soon. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, bud. Are you hunting me? Oh no, Fred. Hey, monster, did you get me? Hold on, Fred's on. Fred, that's bad. We don't go on the records. Okay, you've never done that before. Fred, let's not attack me though. Hey, monster. I don't have any toys to defend myself with. Fred! I got rid of all my toys so they wouldn't be in the shot. Oh, that was such a mistake.